and welcome to an orientation to the library's digital resources. During this session, I'm just going to make you aware of how to access the library's digital resources through the website. You'll learn more about accessing and using ebooks and the specific databases a little bit later in the year. For now, we're going to start. Here is the main library's webpage. And if you go to Academics and Library and Archives, that will take you to the website for the library itself. And if we scroll down a little bit on the library's webpage, here is a button that would take you into the library catalog. That will actually allow you to search our physical collection of books, DVDs, and video games. You'll have information about each one, and if you need to access the item, you can see me in the library or Mrs. Kolovitz in the Media Commons for the AV. But today we're going to focus a little bit more on the digital resources. So as I scroll down further, you'll see that here is a tab called Database Links. And when I click on that, that takes you into a whole variety of databases that you will learn more about as we go forward in the school year. But just to kind of make you aware of what we do have here, we have LibGuides, which are subject area guides that your teachers might ask you to use for specific projects when you're researching a topic. We also have Noodle Tools, which some of you may have used. It's a program that allows you to create note cards and citations for research papers. We also have some databases for research itself. JSTOR is a database that will allow you to search journal articles as well as other primary sources. And then we have a database of videos. These are different films and documentaries. That's called Canopy, that you can watch on your iPad. Scrolling down a little bit more, we have databases specifically for research papers. These are largely, all of these here you can use for your history papers, English papers, or really any research topic that you might have. Global Issues and Context is very internationally based, so when you have a topic that's a world topic, this is a great database to use. Again, all of these databases have articles, primary sources, some have books, magazine articles, newspaper articles, lots and lots of excellent vetted information for you to use in research papers. This one is very specific to world history. This one is more specific to US history. And general one is just as it sounds. It's very general and very broad. And as you can see from the description, it covers over 7,000 different sources, such as magazines and journal articles and newspapers. Moving down a little bit here, we also have some more specific digital resources that can be used for research. This one is an encyclopedia of ancient histories, so that's full of topics related to your ancient history class if you're doing World 1. This one is specific to science classes, so you may have a science teacher that asks you to use this database. It's a database filled with science videos. And then this one is just a dictionary of economics. That's really for the AP Econ students, specifically that might use for their research. So scrolling back up a little bit here, this was all part of this first tab here, Research Databases. I'm going to skip here to the second tab. These are specifically historical newspapers. We have lots of different opportunities for you here to look back at those primary sources, and this is great when you're doing a history topic and you need a primary source. So you can look back in the ProQuest newspapers. They go all the way back here, as you can see, into the early 1800s. If you're going into the 1700s, you can find newspapers in here as well. And we have some other newspaper sources that are specialized, like Illinois newspapers and so on. And of course, we have the current newspaper for Chicago Tribune that you can access here as well. And then this is just a tab that allows you to jump in without description of each database. It's all in one list for you. Okay, I'm opening up this ebooks tab just to show you that we have several ebooks collections here. We have a big research collection with over 170,000 ebooks for you to use for writing papers and doing research. We also have a smaller collection, 1,300 ebooks, but a lot of these are fiction. There's also nonfiction. There's a nice selection, a lot of popular reading in here, and this is all managed through the Sora app. And some of you may have already used that app, or the public library app is called Libby. It's all handled by Overdrive. And we'll learn a lot more about these two collections in your English 9 class at a future session. Also, we have some Flipster magazines. Those are online magazines that you can read right on your iPad as well. And then just scrolling down a little further, there's just some links to, again, thousands and thousands of free ebooks that are on the web. The last tab here I'll point out is New York Times. Every student gets a subscription for free to the New York Times newspaper, which you can also watch right on your iPad, read right on your iPad. So you just have to follow these directions to activate your pass. It's a free pass for 1 year. So if you do this, follow the directions, install the app on your iPad, you can just keep it up and running, and you have full access to the New York Times, which normally would cost money for a subscription. At the bottom of the page here, you'll see a little link for the archives. There, we do have an extensive school archives. Our history does go back to the 1850s. So if you're at all interested in that, please browse through and enjoy those digital images. And we do have an archives club. And once we talk more, in the future, when you learn a little bit more about the clubs, if you're interested in history and museums and all of that wonderful stuff, please feel free to sign up for the Archives Club. I'll also point out that we have a book club, and we've done some virtual book discussions, and that will also be one of the club options, and that's something that I also advise on with Mrs. Wells, the English teacher. So just a couple of clubs for you to keep in mind. And I do want to pause real quickly just to go here to our Media Commons page. So the library itself, as you know, is located in Reed Hall, and that's where there are books, although a classroom is being held in the library reading room this year. The books are still there. And we also have a Media Commons, which has some AV and computers and a audio production booth. If you're interested in creating podcasts, we have 3D printers and a variety of media. We have our AV collection in the Media Commons. So there are DVDs, which are both fiction films and nonfiction documentaries, and we have computer games that you can check out. And we also have some consoles for using the computer games. So please feel free to stop by the Media Commons. And Mrs. Kolovitz is the teacher that is located in there, and she can help you with any of those media productions, creation, using the various iMacs and Lenovo's that are in there. This is Mrs. Kolovitz right here. So you'll see her office is in there as well. And my office is over by the library itself, kind of behind the fireplace. There's a room behind the fireplace with a big table in there and a printer for students to use. And my office is right there. Also, the Media Commons has a student printer as well. So this was just a very quick introduction to the website, and I do look forward to getting a chance to meet each of you individually at some point as we go forward. And I'm always available to answer questions about the databases or any of the digital resources, as well as Mrs. Kolovitz is available to help you with any of those resources. So I do want you to just feel welcome and know that all of these are here for you to use, and let us know if you ever have any questions regarding any of these resources. Okay, thank you.